That's Toya, and
And
this
this
is
is
Tech.
Tech Beats
See,
and Bytes.
I told you. I told you.
I'm messing it up. I was on time.
You were slow. I don't know if we're gonna get it right with this
It
delay.
must
How
have been
y'all
the
doing?
way.
It's all right though. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Toya, how are you doing?
I am doing all right over here in the quarantine world. How you doing?
I'm good. I guess this will finally end all the rumors for people that think that we might be dating or something since we in quarantine together. Keep trying
Right.
to like this ain't it, y'all. If you see the
No,
walls and the lighting is different, this ain't it.
no.
That's my sister though. But I'm glad you were doing okay. How's K Man and Taco doing?
They're doing really, really well. Talk is, living his best life. He wasn't about that school life, no way. So, so he's enjoying homeschooling.
School is for fools. School is for
Right. He's like,
suckers.
I'm making $40,000. That's his favorite number to throw out.
20
$40,000.
20,000?
40.
40.
40. Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
where he got it from, but he just throw
that's
that thing
better
out
than
all
them
the
girls
time.
that was out there going for $40. Taco said, I'm going for more zeros. Let's get it.
Right. Right.
All right. So 40,000, he can work for medium four. We like the number four. That works for us. So, all right. So,
How you and the missus doing? Don't try to rush past. How
I
you
know,
and the
I know.
missus?
We doing good. She building a whole bunch of stuff, so I got to build something today. I'm starting to look bad in the creative department. Uh,
Oh yeah, shit like crafty stuff or what? What's she building?
and pots, planters, shelving. It's all kind of shit in this house now, man. It's
Oh,
house is starting to look like a West Ham commercial. At least the living room. The living room. I walk into the living room every once in a while and be like, "This ain't my living room."
right. I'm just go back in the room.
We got plants. We finally got a plant in the house. We got
Nice.
succulents in the house. Dante gave us a bonsai tree, so I ordered one. So trying to get some fresh air in the house to remove some of the
Right.
negative energy.
Listen, it's good to be a plant parent.
Yes, and my plants are on high fidelity, so I play them albums, at least one side of an album every day. Got that from
Oh, that's
Dante.
good.
Because
They
I'm not
dancing
talking.
in their spirit.
Yeah, I'm not talking to a plant. That's just not happening. So I want to get into some of the quarantine stuff that everybody's been wanting to talk about or everybody's been talking about. But before we get there, why did we go away for so long? Won't we tell the people that?
We went away because we had to go away. Right.
It's that simple, people. There's not going to be no long, drawn out information. We all run businesses and we don't get paid for this. We pay ourselves and we are making it work for other things. So we had to take a break. Mental wellness is real. So we was going to take a break anyways. But we're here. We're here now.
Yeah.
Is Toya frozen, Dante? Because I can't see her on my end, but I just want to know. As long as we good on your end. Put it in the chat just so we know. But so Toya, now that we are sad face. Toya,
I am
are you?
frozen.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say I see myself and I see you.
All right. So I can't see you, but it's cool. We don't have to worry about that. I can hear your voice. Now Toya, besides the quarantine, I heard that some of these people been dropping off big packages to you. So cosmology is popping. Won't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so today is a really, really big day. We've been working with HSN for some months now. So last summer, we submitted to HSN and QVC. They were doing a competition called The Big Find, and they were looking for indie beauty brands or just indie brands to launch on their platform.
Okay.
And it's something that each of them did individually before, and they decided to do it now that they are sort of under one company. And they were looking for new brands to premiere on their platform. So we were one of 70 brands selected out of 654 worldwide submissions, which is dope. In our first year of business. Yeah, so super excited for that. And we've been working with them since that time. So they have a whole process, right? It's a whole process. And we are actually having our orders shipping out today, which is so dope. And, it's just the beginning. And they are a fantastic team. So we're on hsn.com and qvc.com. And the orders that are going out now will be for our on-air premiere, which is to be determined once the whole quarantine.
It don't matter. You did it, though, yo. You set the goal and you did it.
Yes.
I am so proud of you, sis. Like,
Thank you.
that's real dope. I mean, it's one thing to go through this, but it's another thing to not let up. And I mean, you did this with your son. You didn't let anything stop you. You and your sister staying on path. So I'm very proud of you. Like, I know a lot of times we don't give each other our flowers and we talk about this stuff offline, but I just want to say it online. I am so proud of you. You've been an inspiration for myself. Just to keep going and to chase passion. So I'm proud of you. That's dope. Congratulations. I don't have no more hair and I won't be growing dreads, but I will buy one of the little combs just to have it as an artifact.
No, you know you good.
I'm gonna buy one just to say I had one.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. That is dope. Congratulations. Now, did we do the packaging on that? Did Dante help with the packaging on that?
Of course, Dante did.
Yeah, we got to give you guys we haven't done a profile update on Medium 4, so we'll make sure we get you out there. But I definitely want you to do a whole nother thing. Have you been thinking about your beauty and groom or doing your podcast for the beauty industry? Are you ready to do that?
Yeah. So I've been working on some like names for it. And it's funny that you talk about that, you're bringing it up, because I'm just about ready to get it going. So we can circle back on that offline and kind of get that really going. And, you know, it's perfect timing, right? And going back to why we're kind of like getting back online. Because now is the time, right? Now it's all about content creation. We're not new to this. We've been doing this for a long time. So, and it's just really important to bring our voices into this space, especially representing South Florida, because we know that there's a lot of attention on South Florida in terms of not e-commerce, but just business overall and entrepreneurship. And being that we are in that space and that we have businesses that are in different sectors, it's important that we continue to leverage our voices and our experience to show that there are people down here who are doing it, who are serious about business. Sometimes, you know, people are like, oh, Miami's so flashy, blah, blah, blah. But no, you have people who are here who are actually making business and making things happen.
So I guess I'll touch on a couple of topics for people. And I guess I know you've probably seen it, but I went back to my childhood dream and I've been drawing cartoon characters.
Right? You've been flooding the timeline.
Yeah. So a lot of people, that's what I was actually supposed to go to school for. I was actually enrolled. I was enrolled and had picked up my dorm room and my meal plan at UCF. When I met with a dean there, and the dean was like, oh, you know, you should probably go to a community college. And I'm like, bro, we already paid. And I'm like, I'm here. And so I was like, I'm not doing this. And that was the first time I ever heard my dad cuss somebody out in public. He was like, you being condescending. We ain't got to take this bullshit. And we left. And the only reason why I ended up at FSU, I had got accepted at every school in the state of Florida, but we stopped at FSU on the way home. And my mom was like, don't you got a lot of friends going to FSU and fam? Won't you just stop by and see if you want to go here? Because I was already ready to go at UCF, but I was like, I'm not doing this. I was like, I'll go to community college before I go here. And so when we stopped there, that's where I went. But I was going for fine arts with a focus in graphic design. But I was supposed to go to UCF so I could end up working at Disney as an illustrator. That was my dream. I was not really supposed to be a graphic designer. I started doing illustration, and we started illustration. So I've been doing a lot of custom logos for Medium 4, and that's really been picking up. So that's where a lot of my time has been going. But being creative with the pen and paper has led to other creativity. But it's also like a form of meditation and self-care too. I just happen to get paid while I'm doing it. So I've been selling art, been selling prints. My favorite one so far has been, of course, a little bit of realty. That was the one that sparked it all. But I did another one, Pac-Man. I did a revision of what Pac-Man would be like high. So that one was kind of fun.
Right. 420 ready.
Yeah. So we did that, and we kind of redid all our processes. So that was one of the things I kind of want to talk about, because, you know, we're still Tech Beats and Bytes. So we'll still be talking about technology, the music industry, and just bites of information in our community. But for tech, I haven't seen a lot of tech reinvented. Now, Mark Zuckerberg is deboing, trying to debo everybody. So now that we're doing a lot of video, he's like, oh, I can do video with 50 people in the room. We just gonna release that. Boom, here you go. So what have you done differently? Because we just went into processes. We've put everything into a process. We've written it out. We talk about it on the phone, and it's helped us navigate and streamline our clients. Have you changed any of your processes or saw any weaknesses in your processes since you started doing everything and since you've been quarantined?
So honestly, the quarantine kind of worked out in our favor because it gave us breathing room. And I'm talking about cosmology, right? Not everything else, but cosmology specifically. It gave us the breathing room to get this huge order out and to do the fulfillment. So it really kind of that's been the main focus, which is right now. I feel like May is a whole new day because I can kind of relax and now sort of focus on some of those other things like our retail strategy, looking into how to leverage e-commerce. What are we doing? How to make different plays, looking at Amazon, looking at Walmart.com, and sort of thinking about that from that perspective, right? Now that we've kind of gotten this huge PO out, let's now focus and like really sort of start to lay that groundwork on how we want to continue to move forward. Because we know, especially after Corona, e-commerce is now more than ever like the focus.
It's the thing,
and it's going to continue to be the focus, right? Even when things open back up, people have kind of gotten used to shopping online. Those who may not have done it before, they're going to continue to do it. So just understanding how retail is shifting is important. And we want to make sure that we're poised in that way, because one of the things is March and April were our best months like ever. So in terms of just regular sales, and we sold out. So right now we're doing pre-orders, or what it's like back orders, but we're calling it pre-orders on our paddle comb and our sets because we don't have any more inventory. So while we're waiting for them to come in, and they keep selling out, so we keep opening it up to like allow more orders to come in. So it's been really good for us, because when you're talking about women, salons are closed, beauty supply stores are closed, and we've been sending those people who want to place orders with us to our retail partners who have online marketplaces. So we've been able to like shift different orders and inventory different places while we're trying to restock. But it's been amazing just to sort of see how people are really rallying together. Things are still happening. So that's why, oftentimes when situations like this happen, you can't allow it to put fear in your heart. You really have to see the opportunity in it, and you have to pivot, and you have to be able to say like, okay, this happened to me. Yes. But what do I do now? Don't get frozen in the moment. Right. Move through it, and you'll get through it.
So you made a good point, and I think this goes into one of the topics, the world of remote. See, a lot of offices are shutting down. Alicia is working from home now and at a law firm, and they're producing better numbers. I know a lot of people that are now working remote where the companies are realizing they're actually producing better numbers and the things are looking better for them. So how do you think this is going to work out? Because I'm thinking now a lot of the people that need to be scared are probably commercial real estate.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that's probably realizing, I bet you if I offer a 5% pay cut and tell everybody they can work from home, they might be down for it.
Right. So, or just keeping a lot of those overhead costs and using it for other stuff. And it's funny because, we as entrepreneurs, we've been doing this work from home, work remote, work in co-working spaces, work from Starbucks for like years. So for me, this whole quarantine phase hasn't been that different because it was already a part of what I was doing. And it's interesting how now you're seeing people who have been so traditional in their work thought and their work theories having to adapt to what this new sort of experience is. So you're right on the money in terms of what this will look like, because a lot of corporations will probably be like, let's downsize on our footprint. Let's just get smaller spaces, have some conference rooms, because you'll always need to entertain clients when they come in town. But that idea of the flexibility of being able to work from home, and then also what that looks like for parents, right? Because that idea of having kids now is a little bit more open. I was reading an article, I think it was on Medium, and this guy was talking about how he would often apologize for his kids in the background. And one of his coworkers was like, it's cool. Like seeing your kids pop in the camera while we're having a meeting brings joy and life to the meeting. So it's okay. So that idea of having kids or having dogs or noise going on is life. And it's awesome to sort of see this integration of people and what our lives look like, and how work is just a component of who we are as a person.
I mean, that's a dope perspective. And I think like we have a meeting tomorrow with a big multi-million-dollar coffee roaster. And I was like, do we really need to meet? But I'm only cool to go because we got to see the facilities. But like, this is one of the things where it matters, because he was like, no, you need to smell the coffee. You need to see the beans running on the machine. And I was like, you know what? That's different.
And that's I'm going to show. That's a factory. That's a process.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to show up with my mask and everything and come home and bleach myself down or whatever. But I kept trying to explain to people we've been working from home, and what I tell people, the biggest thing is definitely the focus, because you got to know, you got to have a process. And like last night, I was telling Alicia, like, you don't break down from work, because you used to drive home, talk to your mom, and you had a process, and you didn't realize that was actually that mental break to say, okay, now I'm home. It's like, so you're going to have to walk around the backyard, sit in the car, call something, but you still have to come up with processes to actually separate everything. And some people, I know the time is just running together, but it's up to you to separate that time. And it's going to be challenging, but it's why I always tell people, being an entrepreneur is not for everybody, because working from home is probably 2/10 of what it feels like to be an entrepreneur, because the other 8/10 is not knowing if a check is going to come in.
Right. Listen.
So whatever you think you're going through now, imagine not knowing every Friday if a check is going to hit. Welcome to entrepreneurship.
So right. And you like stimulus check.
Right.
You may not even qualify, depending on how your business functions.
You looking for a Zoom meeting, they looking for a client to pay, up there hitting that refresh button on QuickBooks. Where's that?
Right, there was some commercial. Who was it? Was it Progressive? Somebody was talking. Hello, can you hear me? And that's of course, Teddy Riley and Babyface with that tech fail.
Oh yeah.
It's funny just seeing how people are trying to adapt to something that they have not been doing, and the fails that come with it.
That's actually a good transition. Versus has made economical impact on artists with Teddy Riley and Babyface. They had their data and their streaming go up 100%. Yep. Basically, you had a whole bunch of young heads that was like, I don't even know who these cats are. Wait, I remember my mama them used to play that song all the time.
2 occasions, I heard that before.
Right. Like, I heard the remix of that. Did Tory Lanez do a remix to that? Tory Lanez was probably sitting there like, ooh, let me steal that song, because that's all he does. So when you see verses, kind of like, I guess, in our beats area, what do you think about situations like that? Because I just noticed Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, their verses is being promoted by Live Nation. So I was wondering, did they have a contract where Live Nation was like, wait, y'all starting to make money. Based off of this contract, any live performances have to go through us. So I'm wondering, did Swiss Beats and Timberland work out an agreement with Live Nation? Or did Live Nation call their artists and say, if you're going to do verses, if you make anything, we get a cut out of it? I wonder how that's going.
Yeah, no, I'm interested too. But as soon as all of that started and Erykah Badu did that concert in her bedroom, I was like, listen, this is about to be a whole new revenue stream, and Live Nation about to be all over it. Live Nation, Ticketmaster, everybody, because it's the new era. And it was only a matter of time before they was like, wait a minute, ain't nobody going to nobody's arena to see nothing live right now. How can we continue to make money? So who knows how that deal is structured? It'll be interesting to see what happens now that it's becoming formalized and like incorporated. And it's funny because I was looking at it the other day. We were having this whole conversation about Versus, and I was like, Versus is a whole entity. It has its own Instagram handle, a whole website.
That brand is nice.
Making like flyers for these beats, these battles. So yeah, I'm here for it. And I think it's really interesting because, you know, Brian McKnight was doing his sort of regular stuff. You had DJ D Nice who was doing his thing, and Questlove pop on. So just seeing the innovation at this time has been amazing.
I want to put, because you get to be there for some of our crazy conversations between me and Dante. Mm-hmm. So I would quickly call this medium 4 digital grass story time. If you guys go way back 3 years, and some of this is 2 months, remember when I had that crazy idea of 8 to 10 cameras on somebody's head and they're sitting there and recording something? Magically, since y'all firing 1,000 people and y'all had billions of dollars and still don't know what to do with it? Yeah. So Magic Leap, this is a shout out for you. Magic Leap, y'all can send somebody to Erykah Badu house and Jill Scott house, set up the sound in a different way, and allow us to watch them in virtual reality versus just on Instagram. Right.
Yeah.
I said this, y'all not listening. I don't have the money to do it. I don't have $2.9 billion that I got from investors sitting around. But I'm telling you right now, actually, me and Toya haven't talked about this. I'm gonna ask you a question, Toya. You just tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Would you spend $10 to have HD quality sound and to be able to watch it in virtual reality to watch Jill Scott and Erykah Badu perform? Would you spend $10?
I maybe 10. Maybe 10. And the reason why I hesitate is only because this stuff has been free.
Okay.
So like Erykah did one, I think it was like $1. I was gonna say I could probably do 5.
Now I'm talking, but remember now, I'm talking about HD quality. We're not talking about her speaker coming through her little iPhone. I'm talking about HD quality sound.
No, I totally get it. Dante talking about Toya cheap. No, it's not that. It's that the internet has made it where you just want free content. So digital, when you're talking about like streaming music, it's all about just consuming as much content as you can and trying to pay for as little as you can. So I get the quality and I get that. And I get the value of it, right? But then there's a part of me like, oh, I could probably get that for free. Let me look for the person who's going to hack it and then find that link.
So now I'll use that part and jump into some of the political stuff, because a lot of political campaigns and PACs have pulled back off of their money and using their money for advertisement and promotions to get people to register to vote and things like that, because they were normally attached to live events. Now, if you were Live Nation and you were Erykah Badu and you were Jill Scott, would you allow somebody to run a banner ad at the bottom talking about registering to vote or vote or die? Exactly.
Yeah.
So all these political campaigns that are sitting at home and all these people with hundreds of thousands of dollars that's supposed to be out there marketing to get people to register to vote. And yeah, I'm looking dead into the camera for this part. And y'all don't know what to do. This is what you do. If y'all would have called Swiss Beats and Timberland and asked if you could sponsor Babyface and Teddy Riley, y'all could have reached over 1 million people in 2 hours. Y'all are trying the same old things. You don't need to knock at people's door right now. You know what? We trademarking this. Virtual door knockers. It's direct advertisement placement, and you can do it based on zip codes, districts, and everything else. You can do virtual door knockers and actually still reach out to people. Quit sitting at home saying, well, we can't knock on doors because of COVID. You don't need to knock on doors. Everybody addicted to their phones right now anyways.
Right.
And ain't that many people watching TV, so quit buying commercials. I know y'all just want, it's a certain demographic for that, but y'all got a whole nother stratosphere of humans that don't even have cable.
Right.
So if you ain't,
if y'all haven't
called Netflix and been like, yo, Netflix, can we run some ads on the intros? Like, there's ways to get your stuff out. And right now, everybody's missing out if you're not running advertisement on the free platforms of Pandora, Spotify, and iTunes. Like, there's advertisement space outside of this traditional garbage you're doing.
I mean, or even gaming, right? You have a whole population of people, like young voters, those voters who you're trying to reach, right? And they are just in front of their phone or their computer or whatever, just playing Fortnite.
They got a catheter so they can piss right there. Don't even have to get up. They pissing in cans so they don't have to miss something. And you worried about who you advertising to?
Right. I can't tell you how many times Takari has watched the Travis Scott concert on Fortnite on YouTube. And he's 3. So just imagine.
That's a performance on the actual Fortnite game with him as a character, right?
Right. He killed it. It was hot though. I've seen it like 5 times out of 1,000 times he done watched it. But yeah.
We're talking about an animated cartoon.
Yeah.
Concert
performance. A whole experience inside of a video game. Now imagine if that was something that was like sponsored by or like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole other way to like connect with a population of people who you're struggling to reach.
Dante, make sure you capture this minute segment because we need to break that down and send it to all the political people. Because my thing is, you can't tell if you have a political strategist that isn't giving you information like this, they have failed you as a strategist.
Right. But then you got to do it cool too, right? You can't just pop into Fortnite or pop into...
Hey, vote for me.
Right. Right. It has to be integrated. You need to like figure out a way to like do it to where it fits the environment. But this is a new way to sort of connect with people.
You know what Fortnite should do? They should have a virtual register to vote thing where you get extra points or you get something extra.
You get a whole skin.
Yeah, you get a whole scan if you go virtually register to vote, which actually will take your data to see if you're actually registered to vote, only if you're over 18. That's what they should do.
Yeah, or have a whole town hall area to where like those who are interested in politics, because you have adults on there too. So who are interested in politics, like have them engage where they there's a whole world to where if you don't want it, you don't see it.
Don't you shoot people and kill people in Fortnite?
Yeah, and you build stuff and knock it down and
okay, as long as they have a way where when you go into the building, you are disarmed. Cause
yeah, no, they do that. Cause like for the Travis Scott one, like you can't. I think once it got closer to the time of the performance, like everything was shut down, so you can't kill. You couldn't like shoot people while the concert thing was happening.
So basically, what you're telling me is Fortnite has better gun control than the United States of America.
Yeah. Right. And you couldn't shoot around the stage. Like once it hit a certain time, like you could not shoot around the stage.
That's beautiful. If only
it's Fortnite dope. Pull it up on YouTube if you haven't seen it. It's pretty dope.
I read it, but I didn't know. So that's just amazing. But basically what we're telling political people is you need to get into the virtual world because the virtual world is the real world for a lot of people out there.
Yeah. It's like their only world.
I think, you know what? That's key. It's their only world. For some people, that is their life. They get their information through that and they're talking to people and that's how they're exchanging information.
That's how they socialize through the little headphones. You see it. There's too many people who record their gaming sessions on YouTube and you don't even have to have a Twitch account. You can just see it on YouTube. Too many people.
Yeah, I don't even game, but I got a pair of 4D gaming headphones from Mary Spio that she made.
Uh-huh.
And those headphones alone would make me want to game because of how the sound, the 4D surround sound is. It's just amazing. So
yeah,
I just don't need something else to get addicted to. I'm too competitive. Because like then I'll be calling my little nephew, Vishal, what you got? What's your score? I got, and then I'll be cheating because I got money to buy stuff that I ain't got. Have to have a whole separate Fortnite account set to the side. Yeah. So that's really some of the topics I wanted to talk about. So what's on your end? You know, I don't want to just dominate the show. This is almost sounding like I'm interviewing you, but
no,
I'm just so excited to be able to talk to you. I'm just so excited.
I know it's been a minute. No, but let's talk a little bit about what is on the horizon for all of your ventures, right? You got Medium 4, Timeline Brewery, your cartoon illustration. What's on the horizon? You got to drop some gems.
So I would say the biggest one is going to be a couple of locations, because we're still revamping how we're going to do these co-work food hall space.
Yeah.
But I would just say to put it in the atmosphere, Junction is probably going to become a real junction in one of the most powerful Black cities in the state of Florida. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
So that's something we're working on. Honestly, we just redid our processes. We've actually assigned roles and we're structuring ourselves to be not just a multi-million-dollar company, but a multi-million-dollar a year grossing company. So we've taken on different roles. So Dante is doing a lot more of actual client retention. I'm doing more onboarding. We changed our outreach. The beer is still coming. I'm actually trying to get contract brewing. So just because locations and facilities and having a brew pub is probably going to be harder in these upcoming years. Mm-hmm. So we're looking to do more contract brewing, but not just in the state of Florida. We're looking to do contract brewing in multiple states so that our partnership with DJ EFN can flourish. Since he's the drink champ, we might as well have multiple beers in different states and different cities. So we're going to end up crowdsourcing in different, because it's only going to be able to work in different states because you can't ship beer across state lines.
Nice.
So that's one of our goals with that. But videography. So as you can see, this is actually a dope example because the way we're streaming this, Dante has actually been doing this. So we've been doing a lot of live streaming with Medium 4 and Digital Grass. So the live streaming and remote streaming has become a area of expertise that we're working on. But I would say probably the dopest thing outside of all of that is only podcasters. Mm-hmm. So had a conversation with a gentleman and it was a good conversation, just saw things totally different. So I want to build pretty much like a record label of podcasters.
Yeah.
So 6 to 12 people that are just dope. Everybody builds a relationship to cross promote each other, featuring each other, just like you feature each other on an album. You bring each other in and interview each other, and you just build this whole thing. So then those 10 to 12 people can do like a summit or a conference, and they have their expertise. But we've recruited one of the first Black females to ever be on a podcast in the iTunes store. She was doing it since 2009 when it wasn't cool, and that's Michelle Talbert. So we're going to do only podcasters right under the Digital Grass and the Medium Forward brand, and basically make our own record label for podcasters and build up intellectual and motivational content and put that together where everybody can go out and speak in it. Because I've started consulting coaching. You know, I used to hate that word coach.
Yeah.
But I just saw so many people that were struggling to get past certain things. And the best thing you can give somebody is experience. Right. But I notice a lot of coaches are kind of just motivational, like, oh, you can do it. And so I was like, no, I'm a consultant coach. And everybody's like, well, what does that mean? We gonna actually get some shit done. And when you saying something stupid or when something ain't working, I'm just gonna have to tell you because I have experience in business. So I put together that course, and I've coached about 3 or 4 people so far. And everybody I've coached has seen an immediate update, an immediate uptick in their sales and their revenue and their processes.
Good stuff.
So it's pretty much what we would consult with an actual client, but you get a little bit more personal. You take time to see what boundaries they haven't overcome or what childhood traumas might be holding them back. So we've pretty much formulated our company to be able to work remote, because if I'm not making the beer and I'm just sending a formula to somebody, all right, cool, send me my packages, let me do some taste tests, then you sell the beer, send me my cut. So I'm kind of preparing for the life I want to live, which is to get somewhere on an island or in the country with a strong ass Wi-Fi signal and be able to run 4 or 5 businesses remote and only come out for meetings when I have to go smell the coffee. So that's what, that's what we've been working on.
So, and then one of the things that you mentioned while you were talking is crowdsourcing. And of course, one of the hot topics in entrepreneurship during this quarantine time has been fundraising.
Right.
And how hard it has been to sort of tap into capital, right? And how businesses are trying to figure out their financing, their cash flow management in this crazy time. And so I'm interested, because I know that you also do investing. What have you seen on that side when it comes to financing businesses, investing in companies at this time? And do you have any advice for businesses who are possibly who were planning to start to do some fundraising, but then are like, how do I do it now that we're in this quarantine phase?
So I kind of focused on essential investments and things that I know people are going to do no matter how their money is. So I invested into a tire shop because people are still driving cars and they need tires. And my little tire shop guy, they just didn't have a website, didn't have a brand. So I was like, I can build this for you, but let's get it out to more people. The biggest thing is, do you want to be able to sit in a lounge and drink some free water? Or do you want your tires 25 to 30% cheaper? In this day and time, people will sit outside and talk to some folks in the hood and get them tires cheaper. A car and body shop and a detailing shop. So I'm looking at things that I know people are going to spend money on, but companies that probably just don't know how to market and advertise themselves to attract new business. Breaking ground technology and innovation, I don't see it because all I see is stuff being repurposed, right? So I don't want to build another OnlyFans. I just want to build something with a different brand, only podcasters, give it the same accessibility, pay for one-on-one sessions and everything. If you take away the nudity and you take away the porn element of OnlyFans, because OnlyFans wasn't intended for that. But if you do it that way, okay, now I got a podcaster that 10 people want a one-on-one session with. How much do you want to charge? You can charge $275 an hour, $200 an hour. But why rebuild that platform when I can just mask the domain name and say only podcasters, but already use the technology in place by OnlyFans that already has a billing system and let them get a commission from it? So I'm trying to see if people come to me with like reinventing technology that's already in place and how to use it. That's what I'm willing to invest in. I feel that Magic Leap has proven technology that's out of the box. We're not even ready to go there. Like technology is on a hold. So for me, you took a century old, lifelong old tool, the comb, and you reinvented the comb to make it a better process for hair, and you dedicated the comb itself to make it better for a particular genre, a particular type of hair, and to make it work. To me, that's an investment worth making, because you've taken something that's already. So I'm actually looking for somebody that is reinventing the wheel.
Right. But doing it to where it's essential. Going back to your point, it's something that people need, people are going to buy regardless, and it's not trendy to where it's like a throwaway type of a thing. Yeah, no, totally makes sense. And it's interesting that you're talking about that, because so we know Dawn Dixon, a friend of the family, and she's been doing some crowdsourcing. She's done another raise publicly with, the whole process that she did before, and she's done really, really well with that. So just going back to the conversation that we had earlier about there's always opportunity.
It is.
And there's always money. You just have to maybe shift how you're going after it to meet and work within the parameters of what's kind of going on right now.
And so, like, as far as how you do it, you have to, it's no different than what I always tell people. Like, people have these ideas and they never have their numbers in place. I was like, if I call Toya and I told Toya I got somebody ready to invest, do you got your numbers? The answer is going to be, yep, I need this much. This is what they can get back. And, you have to have that stuff ready to go. And I've asked so many people, like, so you know how much money you want to make this happen. But if you get the money you want to make it happen, how much money will you make from it? And that's normally the answer people don't have. And so for me, if you don't have that answer, I don't want to invest. So I've learned from my own failures, you got to know what questions investors. So when you become an investor, you think like one. Okay, so if I give you $5,000, how much money you going to make from this $5,000, and how much am I getting back? Are you making 10,000? Are you making 60,000? Are you making 100? I don't care what I get back initially. I want to know what your vision is of what you're going to make once you have this money. And then if they can answer that question, part two of the question is, how do you actually make it happen? Then they have to break it down like, because if it's a service, what kind of service are you doing? And out of each service, which percentage of that gets you to that end number? Or if it's a product, how much does your product cost? It's basic mathematics. And I always tell people that's a non-emotional conversation, because numbers don't have emotions, because they don't change based off of how you feel. Marketing has emotions, trends have emotions, brands have emotions. Numbers are a very unemotional conversation. So if you get emotional with me in an unemotional conversation, I know you're not ready for business.
Yeah.
Because you can't get offended by numbers. If you look at a number, 2.8, I don't want to talk about that. We ain't doing nothing.
Not a teeth suck. Sucking them teeth.
That's when you've been around Jamaicans too long.
Right.
That's when you sit back and you be like, oh, okay. So you don't want to talk about that? That's cool. So this one I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have somebody reach back out to you. I don't got no somebody. I am the somebody. But I'm gonna have somebody reach back out to you, and that's when you go to accounts@medium4.com and just be like, due to circumstances, we're gonna have to move in another direction. So, I can't tell you how long. I told you for about 4 years we had a fake person we made up that used to send our email.
It happens.
And we would take on a whole different tone, and we would try to use certain keywords that we don't use. Right. And we had a whole different personality. So it was like Jennifer. We had 3 different names. So they would reply to you because they were our accountants. But now we do have actual accountants, but they ain't taking no time to see no emails. Right. And that's when I be hitting people up like, look, man, I do not want to press you for this money, but Jen is closing out the books. It's the end of the month. I got it.
Telling everybody that Jen ain't real.
No, Jennifer is real. Jennifer called us. She just don't be calling people. Jennifer.
Okay. I'm like, don't be telling the people about the fake lady.
Oh no, Jennifer is in Atlanta. She get that check every week. We get that invoice. Jennifer do them books, and she be like, y'all got a lot of open invoices over here. I'll be like, you right. let me go get, because to pay you, they got to pay us. So let me go call them.
Right. Yeah, no, it's real. It's real.
So we're going to have a lot of interesting things to talk about. I think, as you can tell, we're still brothers and sisters. So the energy is still there. We're still flowing well. So it still feels good. But we got to do this. So, guys, we're back. You got to send in the topics you want us to discuss. Due to circumstances, I did leave off a certain topic. We'll get into the social justice next week. I just didn't want to kill the vibe. It was just such a good vibe to have you back. Yeah,
so we could get heavy later.
Yeah, and we'll do these a little bit later in the day because I definitely should have been drinking. But I have to figure out a way to buy our beers and wines in bulk. So when we meet, I can give you like at least 6 of them and be like, hey, these are the ones we're going to do on the show.
Right, for the show.
Yeah, so we can have the same experience. And then here go the other 4 that you're going to drink just because of taco, but don't drink the other 6.
That's the parent stash.
Right. This your parent stash. This the show stash. But I'm sis, I just want you to know, not trying, no cap, for the young folks, no cap. I love you and I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on your recent success.
Love you right back. Y'all are killing it. So
I guess that's it, guys. I don't even, my closing statement is stay sane. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your success. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your son. Do whatever it takes to stay sane. If that's creating projects, if that's just sleeping, can't do nothing if you're dead. So stay safe, stay home, only make essential trips. Don't listen to Donald Trump. Listen to somebody else. And I have to always get one dig in on the orange agent. But that's the biggest thing. So let's see if you remember how to do this part. Go ahead.
That's Mike.
That's Toya. And this is Tech Beats and Bytes. We're not going to get the timing together, guys, because we're not here.
Yeah. You just got to work with it. All right.
Love you, Toya.
Love you too.
Bye.